In the first Saturday of its existence, the Chaz, or the CHOP, as it's now being called by some circles, the Capitol Hill Occupy protest, it had a huge turnout. There were families, there were information booths talking about some of the demands that protesters want to see, like disbanding the police, and there was music and more speakers. But there are also streets still barricaded off, and the police chief says that is still cause for concern.
While its name may still be up for debate, the Chaz, or the CHOP, is the opposite of the images that define Seattle's protests of the previous 2 weeks.
We got a mental health support, emotional support tent, like first aid, like
Conversation cafe.
Conversation cafe. This is amazing.
Music and art and food have replaced flashbangs and tear gas within the 6-block zone in the shadow of Seattle's boarded up East Precinct. After experiencing tense moments with officers at other protests, this group of roommates are here for the first time.
We each went to the protests at different points and kind of saw the intensity of it. And personally, I felt like there might not be anything that came out of it. And today was just a way to give myself hope after a really hard 2 weeks.
Among the scenery, not an officer in sight, but there are barriers blocking off the area put up by protesters. Police Chief Carmen Best says this is worrisome. Since the East Precinct was evacuated by officers, response times to local 911 calls have tripled to 15 minutes.
If that is your mother, your sister, your cousin, your neighbor's kid that is being raped, robbed, assaulted, and otherwise victimized, you're not going to want to have to report that it took the police 3 times longer to get there to provide services to them.
Beth says there are plans to get officers back into the precinct, while protesters want to see it turned into a community center, among other demands like redistributing $50 million of SPD's budget to the black community and creating a fund to halt gentrification of the Central District. The fate of it does not become any clearer as the days of occupation tick on. For some, though, this is a moment in history worth experiencing while it lasts.
I really like how there are people just really showing up just to have an open space and open dialogue and being able to be active listeners, especially to black voices that are being uplifted and raised above others, while also providing the support and resources to be a good practicing ally.
As far as an end to the occupation of that 6-block area of Capitol Hill, well, until some of those demands are met, then the protesters, they plan on staying in that area. And as far as a police plan to reoccupy the East Precinct, well, we do not have any details on that either. Vanessa Mashania, King 5 News.